Well, hello everybody. I hope you are doing well. Hope you've been having a good day. Thank you for coming to my story tonight. 2 weeks ago, I began this I talked to an audience of one, and I gave the story of the centurion about how Jesus healed the centurion's servant, and all he had to do was speak, and because of the centurion's faith, his servant was healed. He was paralyzed. Last week, I gave a different story to a bigger audience. It was about Jesus calming the storm and how he was asleep at the bottom of the boat. The disciples were crossing the Sea of Galilee, and all of a sudden a huge storm came out of nowhere. Jesus was at the bottom of the boat asleep, and the disciples were scared that they were going to perish, and they woke him up and said, "Lord, we're perishing. Do something about this." And Jesus, being all-powerful God in the flesh, rebuked the wind and the waves, and the disciples were in awe, and they said, "What kind of man is this that even the winds and the waves obey him?" Well, today I'm going to be talking about the story that happened exactly right after Jesus calmed the storm. In a little context, we're going through the different things that happened that Jesus did after the Sermon on the Mount. So Jesus has come down from the mountain after giving the sermon. He's healed the centurion's servant. He's healed many people. He's crossed over. He's calmed the sea. And now, right after he's calmed the sea, they made it to the other side. So right when Jesus made it to the other side with his disciples, they encountered two demon-possessed men who were coming out of the tombs. And it was so bad that nobody would pass through that way. And when they saw Jesus, they said, "What do you have to do with us, O Son of God?" And they said, "If you have to cast us out into this herd of pigs over here." So there was this herd of pigs nearby, and they were begging Jesus, saying, "If you must cast us out into the herd of pigs." So Jesus said, "Go." And so they came out and went into the pigs, and immediately the pigs took off, the herd of pigs took off over the cliff, fell into the water, into the sea, and drowned. And the herdsmen that were there with the pigs, they fled. And they went into town and told everybody about what they had saw that had happened. And many people were, in shock because of what had happened to the two demon-possessed men. And they came to Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their region. So that's the end of my story. So let's dissect it a little bit. Who are the main characters in this story? Jesus. Jesus is, yes, one of the main characters.
The two demon-possessed men.
The herdsman. I'm thinking of one more major characters.
Pigs? The people of the Gadarenes.
Thinking of who were the two men that were possessed by what?
The demons.
The demons.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The demons were some of the main characters. So what did you like about this story?
I liked how, the demons know their ultimate fate. When they say, "What do you have to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" They're referring to at the end of days when they will be thrown into the lake of fire.
Yeah.
And so that tells you right there, even the demons knew their ultimate fate and knew who Jesus was. So the fact that they acknowledge that and shows you the power of Jesus and what he can do with anyone, that even the demons know how powerful he is and know how holy he is, and they even kneel before him.
Yeah.
So, man.
Yeah, it's crazy that they knew it says, "What do you have to do with this, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" So they knew the time that was coming, like you said, when they would be thrown into the lake of fire forever. What about anybody else? What's something you liked about this story? Maybe what's something you didn't like about this story? That may sound weird to say you didn't like something about a Bible story, but what's something you didn't like?
The dude's begging Jesus to leave.
The dude's begging Jesus to leave. Why do you think they begged him to leave?
Scared.
They were scared. Maybe.
I think they were scared. You know, pigs to them were like valuable things. You know,
Yeah.
they viewed that as money. I mean, that was almost like a currency to them. And, you know, Jesus just basically told thousands of pigs to jump off the cliff. That's like them emptying their bank accounts back in their day.
Yeah, yeah. And
so
this is a Gentile region.
Yeah.
Said to the country of the Ganarenes, which was a Gentile group. Yeah, you're right. This was their way of life.
Yeah.
And he just killed off their way of life. And I mean, to be honest, if somebody killed off my way of life, I'd probably want them to leave too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, them begging him to leave. What can this story teach us about God?
That anybody can come to him.
That anybody can come to him.
His power.
His power. Because you see, just like the centurion, just as he healed the centurion's servant with his word, and as he calmed the storm with his word, he cast demons out with his word. He says, go. And they left.
I think it's very important that even everyone on this planet, below Earth, above Earth, heaven, hell, and the entire universe bow before him.
Yeah.
They will bow
I like
before
that
him at the end of times. And the fact that even demons, the things that torment us as humans, bow before him. And I think we could really apply that to our lives and make it an applicable stance in our lives, that, you know, no matter what we go through, we can use that to our advantage, knowing that we can just call on Jesus and fix our eyes on Jesus, and it can be done. You
Yep.
know.
Well said. Well, thank y'all for coming to my story and listening. I hope that you've enjoyed it and that you've learned something from this.